What's going on YouTube? Just wanted to get on here and do a quick review on some of the gear that I used on my New Jersey long run. In case you guys haven't seen, I posted a couple of videos the other day showing my fundraising run that I did for the Forum School in Waldwick, New Jersey, where my daughter goes to school. The Forum School has been caring for children with autism, Down syndrome, and other developmental disorders since 1954. It was my way of trying to give back to the school that's done so much for so many. They heavily rely on funding for the different programs and things they do for the children. So my fundraising run that I did, I ran from the lowest point of the state of New Jersey, the Cape May Lighthouse, all the way up to the highest point, the High Point Monument. I started Thursday, April 10th, a little after 7 a.m., and I finished Monday afternoon about 2:40. It was a total of 208 miles, and this is the gear that I used. First and foremost, everybody always wants to know about shoes. I used the Mount to Coast R1s. When I started the run, I had about 63, 64 miles in these. And I have to say, they held up really, really well. I don't know if you could see the tread on here. Let's see. You can see on the bottoms there is some wear down here. And there is a little foam exposed, but the midsole and the overall shoe held up really, really well. Yeah, you can see some of the foam there is gone. I went through all different types of terrain in these. The lower part of the state of New Jersey, going through the Pine Barrens. There's about 35, almost 40 miles of a mix of crappy asphalt, big chunky rocks, rocky roads, dirt, sand roads, a mixture, a mixture of all. So these held up really, really well. I can tell you, out of all the road shoes that I've used and for road marathons, these are by far the most comfortable road shoes I have ever worn. The dual lacing systems really came in handy with being able to, during foot care changes, sock changes, and stops, just being able to accommodate and loosen and adjust that forefoot so it can accommodate for the swelling of my feet, especially with the extra material that they have. So these things held up really well. They also drained really well. I was in 3 days of nonstop rain, and these just held up really, really well through all of that. Next on the list is the pack. I used the Hyper Light Mountain Gear Aero 28. So this is a 28-liter pack. It's made of Dyneema composite, so it's waterproof. It has ripstop material. And this thing was a beast. It really held up well. It was super comfortable to run in and use with all my gear. It has a tremendous amount of storage. This back piece back here held a lot of the gear that I wanted to be able to access right away. It has 2 side pockets where I was able to put 2 1.5 liter smart bottles, as well as 2 half-liter flasks in the front. I didn't use so much of these pockets here in the front just because with the water bottles, it was kind of hard to stuff things in there. But the pack has a nice little waist strap, which I was able to run one of their fanny packs through to have my phone, a lot of snacks, my money and my cards and stuff, things that I needed easily accessible. On the outside of the pack, of course, we have the running sticks, which I used Likey carbon fiber poles. Also have a little $9 sit pad, which I got on Amazon. This came in handy, so when I would take stops, just being able to cushion the rear and sit down on this rather than on hard rock and ground, it just made it that much more comfortable on the run. Also kept my trowel here in the back in case I had to go to the bathroom and clean up my mess. Let's see. We also on the outside have the Garmin InReach Mini, which I always take on long adventures. And it was really great because it allowed everybody that wasn't out there, because I was by myself for the most part, to be able to track me on the run, which was really cool. And I actually had a lot of friends meet me out on the route, which is really, really awesome. Before I start opening the pack, this was a great pack. I love it. It also has this little pocket down here at the bottom where you can stretch, throw a jacket, throw your gloves, throw your beanie, your buff, whatever, things that you want to be able to access easily, but you don't want to take the time to stuff inside the pack itself. Before we open that up, I'll go through a few things. Of course, I got my GoreWear gloves for when it was a little cool. These always come in handy. The cap I wore was my 3-7 Project Be Hard When It Gets Hard Boca gear hat, which I wore because, you know, it was a constant reminder to remain patient, present, deliberate with all my actions, and to be hard when it got hard, because 208 miles, 3 days in the pouring rain, it got pretty hard. As far as shorts goes, I always run in BOA shorts. They're just the most comfortable shorts for me to run in. I had the Squid Games print for the first 100 miles, and then the other 108 miles, I had my BOA duck shorts. As far as base layers go, I brought 2 shirts with me. I had my long sleeve GoreWear, I forget the name of which shirt this is. I don't know if it's the Concurve or the Infinium, but this is a seamless base layer. This was what I primarily wore the entire time. Not till like the last day did I put on the short sleeve, just because it was cold and windy. But this base layer paired with my GoreWear jackets was more than enough to keep me warm. I love GoreWear. If you haven't tried any of their products, they're just great products. They're durable, dependable, and functional. And here's the same shirt, just in the short sleeve. And this works really well for both visibility because of the color, as well as being able to wick sweat away, but also keep you nice and cool when the wind's blowing. And because of its wicking material and whatnot, it is able to dry fairly quickly, so you're not just sitting there soaked all the time. GoreWear buff, which I always bring with me if it's going to get a little cool at night. It's nice to keep the neck nice and warm. Doubles as a hat as well. I didn't bring anything to blow my nose, and it did get pretty nasty out there, and my nose was running. So I stopped at a Dollar Tree, found this little American buff, and I was able to run my chest straps of my pack through this. So I had it in front of me at all times, and it was super accessible and convenient to be able to just pull it up and blow my nose on the spot when I needed to. My waterproof jacket is the GoreWear Concurve jacket, which I made a video about. This thing is super lightweight, super thin. It is really nice to run in. It has like a curved cut in the arm, so it's meant to be in that running position, which is super comfortable on the move. This thing is bomb proof, it is waterproof, and it is a nice little wind layer as well. For when it got a little colder and for the nighttime, and when I was sleeping, I also had my GoreWear Infinium Windstopper. This is another great, phenomenal jacket from GoreWear. It's got a couple different layers on here. It's exceptionally warm, and paired with the Concurve, it actually functions really, really well for those days when it's a little colder than expected, or you got that cold rain coming down. So yeah, nice little wind layer here paired with the Concurve worked really well to keep me super warm and dry. Got the cold weather GoreWear beanie because, hey, if it's cold enough to need a beanie, you might as well have the cold weather one. But this is super comfortable as well to throw on, especially at night. And then we have, I had these little Asics gloves that I threw over my GoreWear gloves, because in the rain, the GoreWear gloves I have don't have the ability to kind of maneuver and finagle the cell phone screen. So these have that little material here. But after a while with the rain, it was just kind of a pain in the butt. But one little trick that you can do that works if it's going to be raining and you have to pull your phone out and access it, you can put your phone inside of a little sandwich snap Ziploc bag. Make sure there's a little bit of air in there, so when you push down on the plastic on the screen, it will actually work just as well, and you can get in and out of the phone as you need to. As far as a battery pack goes, I did bring this Anker 20,000 milliamp with a C cable and some additional cables here. This was for a backup just in case I needed it whenever I would stop at Wawa. Yeah, so whenever I would stop at gas stations, I would go ahead and try and charge my phone on the go. But this was a nice little backup battery just in case, which I did need it at times. As far as headlamps go, my backup was this little Nitecore. I'm not sure which one this is. I think it was like 35 bucks on Amazon. Super, super light, very comfortable, and exceptionally bright. This is a pretty nice headlamp. So we'll go ahead and open up the pack, see what else is inside of here. You'll see a little theme here. I tend to like Hyper Mountain Light gear. This is the Hyper Mountain Light gear stuffed pillow sack. So it acts as a stuff sack for clothing, and what you can do is turn it inside out, stuff it up, seal it up, and you have this really nice felt side here to use as a pillow. So it works really good. You can use it to store your clothing in, and then also go ahead and use it as a pillow. So it would have worked really well with my puffy jacket, which, you know, I should have brought for the nighttime because it did get really cold. But yeah, this works really well with like my shirt, shorts, and my extra jacket. This is my little electronic zip bag. I showed you the extra power bank that I had. Of course, you know, I had an array of cables and my extra battery pack for my headlamp. This is the headlamp that I primarily use. This is the Petzl Now RL, the reactive light headlamp, which is really nice. It's reactive, so when it reflects off of like a reflective surface or whatnot, it will dim the light to save battery power. I also love the way that the battery and the front distributes the weight, so it's not so heavy and clunky in the front. That being said, the Nitecore is super light, so even on the front of the head, you don't even feel it. I did also bring, because I have a blow-up sleeping pad that I use, this little, what is it called? The Ettenwolf. This is an Ettenwolf rechargeable pump, so you can inflate and deflate a sleeping pad, and this actually lasts for quite a while. So this one charge on this got me through the entire trip. Also have a little head light I got for like $12. This is like a little GoPro style light for nighttime recording, which I really didn't use. I didn't record that much at night, so but it does work really well. I've used it before, I just didn't really use it on this trip. Let's see. This is the fanny pack. This is the Vice Versa from Hyper Mountain Light Gear, and this has your regular fanny pack straps, but what I like about it is you can tuck them in, and then there is this back piece that you can slide the waist belt through. So you have the waist belt on anyway with the pack, but this just sits right there, which allows you to access your phone, which I kept in this front pouch here. This is also waterproof, but you get water in it if you have to open it up while you're on the run in the rain. Let's see what's in here. We got some Spring Energy gels. I also have the Hyper Mountain Light Gear minimalist wallet, which was really nice to throw my ID, credit cards, and money in. What else is in here? Some Swedish Fish, some eyeglass cleaners, extra lube. Little pro tip: in case you guys wear BOA shorts, if it's cold out and you know your lube is having a hard time, this particular lube is squirrel nut butter. If it's kind of tough and you're not able to warm it up too well, the little key pouch here in the BOA shorts, you can stuff this inside and your body heat will actually loosen this up and melt it for you, which is pretty nice. Let's see what else is in here. We got some chapstick, some money, some blister packs. But yeah, this is a great little addition and made it so much more comfortable and easy to have my accessible stuff in front of me. It's a little 1 liter stuff sack or zip pouch. This had a lot of my snacks, a lot of the spring energy gels. I still have a few left, some Rice Krispie treats. We have some caffeine gum. This is I think this is Rev Extreme. I think that's what it's called. I think it's like 1,000 milligrams for one piece of gum, which it'll get you wired. It works pretty good. And let's see. Of course, we have our little dental kit. Hygiene is very important. I took my toothbrush that I got and I cut it into 1/3, so I saved some weight on that and some space. As far as the sleeping gear, I cowboy camped the first night, used my pad, emergency bivy, which is made out of like balloon material, which kind of helps retain body heat and keep you warm. And in addition to that, I got a super light, thin sleeping bag liner, which I slipped inside for a little extra comfort and to wick away any moisture. I also have and used the Hyper Mountain Light Gear Unbound 2-person tent, which only requires, aside from the 8 stakes to hold it down, 2 trekking poles to pop it up. So this it's not a freestanding tent. It doesn't have poles. This looks really big and clunky, but it only weighs 22 ounces. So you don't even feel this in the pack. And it was definitely worth having, especially not knowing what kind of weather we were going to be in. And with the amount of rain that we had, this tent is just phenomenal. Let's see, we got some more empty stuff sacks. Salty britches for my feet. This is the best stuff for your toes. It has like lanolin in it, so it definitely helps coat the feet, especially in wet weather, so that way it doesn't just wash off. For hydration, I always and only use Hoist hydration. Hoist is made in the US. It's military grade IV level hydration, and it's veteran owned, which matters to me because I'm a veteran, and again, made in the US. They also so Hoist hydration is the only hydration I've used for the last couple of years. I love it. It works great, hydrates me with everything that I need, doesn't upset my stomach. I never get any palate fatigue with it, so I never get tired of drinking it. They also support military members, first responders, veterans, nurses, police, which is important to me. So I'm a big believer in supporting those that support you. Check them out, Hoist Hydration. This is my sleeping pad. This is the Climate Static V2. This thing works really well. It's super comfortable. It's not the thickest, but it does the job and it does what you need, especially on the run. So super easy to blow up and easy to deflate and pack away, which I really, really like. My little medicine pack, got a lot of lube and stuff in here, ibuprofen, Tums, and a little cork ball. So these work really well on the fly when you're out there on the move. If you get a little muscle knot and you have to roll it out, these work really great. So that's it. That's everything that I used, all the gear that I had with me. And yeah, it worked great. If you have any specific questions about any of the gear here, please go ahead, leave a comment down in the below, share, subscribe, like, hit that notification so you can be notified when new videos drop. But yeah, this is everything I used for 208 miles. And if you haven't, check the footage that I filmed on that run. That was pretty cool and pretty epic. But stay tuned for some more to come. Thanks for watching, and hope everybody has a great and blessed day. Thank you so much.